All right, I'm here with Kuroky. He's decided to do an interview with us, even though he's feeling a little sick, right?
Yeah,
Bad timing.
definitely, but I think I'll be fine.
Do you think it has anything to do with you guys getting stuck on flights or anything like that?
Well, we traveled quite a lot in the last month. I think it has to do with that, and my body couldn't really deal with it, so I got sick. It's been lasting for like 10 days now. And
Oh, wow.
yeah, I just need some rest, but I don't really get it right now.
Are you guys confident about this group stage coming up tomorrow?
Yeah, we are, but we just try to play our best, see what's coming.
Well, how was China? You guys did so well there. Got to tell me about it. How did it go?
Well, nothing special to be honest. We just went to this cafe where we played. Shout out to Starsy and TV, and we tried our best to pretty much win this Alienware Cup because our group stage went really bad, and the scrims they went really bad too actually. So we basically lost every game except the tournament games, and I guess we got lucky.
How, no, you got to give me more than that. You didn't just get lucky. You guys beat all the best Chinese teams in a row, pretty much. What do you feel that you guys just do better in games, or what is it? What is it about Navi?
It's very hard to keep a professional shape in scrims or games we can't take too serious. We try to approach every game as serious as possible, but when there's something on the line, and it's pretty much when you're close to get eliminated or lose the actual tournament, we pretty much we give our 100%, and then we just play better. And at the same time, my team consists of Russians, and Russians are very unreliable. So
Unreliable?
Yes.
How?
well, there are a lot of stories about Russians and Dota, so I don't think I need to talk much about it. But
Speaks for itself, I guess.
it does. But the guys I play with, they're really nice, and when they know we gotta play Dota, then they play real Dota, and I pretty much adapted to them. So nowadays, when we scrim, I feel like I can't play my 100%. I used to take scrims more seriously, but when I play today, I'm just like playing, and I'm like, oh, I go to the rune, I die. Oh, I died. Okay, I don't care.
And do you speak any Russian?
Not really, but I can tell some words, but I can't really speak it. But I understand it quite good, actually.
Oh, okay. Can you do a Russian accent since you hear it so much?
No.
No. You said that you don't want to do an interview because you are quite boring, but you're speaking quite well. What's the issue?
I don't know. I'm actually a boring person, but
I don't think so. I think we'll get some insight out of you to Navi.
you can try.
Okay, I will. Since China, do you feel that you guys have changed anything important, or do you feel it's just the same and you're just getting more excited about TI? And
Actually, I think a lot of stuff changed, especially in the game. Our draft has changed. Our way of approaching the game has changed quite a bit. But it was natural, as when TI approaches a lot of, I think every team gets more serious. So it's like when you watch the wildcard match, you saw Quantic. Actually, they played different than they used to, because I think there was too much pressure for them. And it's the same stuff with any team, same stuff with us. But pressure doesn't really. It does hurt us to some extent, but at the same time, we get a lot of out of it, out of the pressure. We seem to play better under pressure. So
I would say so, yeah.
And the China thing made us feel more prepared.
Do you think that there's a gap between Chinese and Western teams, or do you feel that it's just even?
I've seen that a lot of people actually think that Western teams are much closer to the Chinese teams nowadays, but I don't necessarily agree with that. I think the Chinese get this motherfucker off.
Dendy's dancing and distracting him as he's talking, so it's actually quite impressive that you're able to maintain focus this long.
I think the Chinese teams are generally still better, and I expect them to do very good in this tournament. I actually expected Rattlesnake to win over Quantic 2, even though I think most people expected Quantic to win. But as I said, ever since Alliance and we won in China, people seem to generalize it on all European teams being as good as Chinese teams, which is not true.
It's just you two.
Even we too, we will struggle against them, Alliance and we will. But I think we're the two most experienced players in the competitive scene in Europe right now. So we have a chance, and it's mostly 50-50, I think. But I think the other European teams, they will struggle a lot when they start facing up Tongfu and DK. LGD is really, really strong, actually. And they seem overconfident, pretty much.
Like giving Alliance Bear?
Yeah, for example. But for example, also the overconfidence, it's pretty much shown the way the Europeans talk nowadays. When we were in Valencia, I was talking to Synderen, Mao's captain, and he seemed very confident before he played us. Not about playing us, but about in general about TI and facing the Chinese and picks. And I told him, we're gonna crush you guys just with picks in Valencia, and you will notice what I mean. I talked a bit about him, about the picks and stuff, but he didn't really acknowledge what I said. He was just like, yeah, okay, whatever. And then we played them, and nowadays we pick a lot of Alchemist and DK, and they lost the game minute 1 basically because of the picks. And then he came up to me and was like, okay, Kuro, now I understand what you mean. And I'm like, yeah, buddy, it better lose now than in TI. So I also think that this Valencia thing for Maus was a very good experience. So yeah.
And they're in your group.
Yeah, they are, sadly.
So they learned from you, and now you have to play them. So you come up with something new, maybe.
I hope so. I really like to play against Maus because they're my old friends. But at the same time, it's like it's hard to play friends. It's a good feeling to beat other teams. But
yeah, Black said that too.
But when I beat Maus, I don't feel too good, and when they win me, I obviously don't feel too good either since I lost. So yeah.
You've been on Navi for how many months now?
I've been on Navi since March, I think.
And what are the main differences? Is just higher profile? More attention? What's the biggest differences about switching to this team?
There's definitely a lot more attention. Having the Navi tag itself is very precious in the scene, I guess. And yeah, the in-game differences. When I played in Maus, I picked up guys who weren't really experienced in this competitive scene at all. Fata, Pass. Back then we had Alex. Now they have Koikwa instead. And then they have Synderen instead of me. They're all very new guys to competitive Dota. Even though they've played Dota for quite some time, they barely had any real competitive experience. So when I joined Navi, I knew what's coming into me. I have people who already won one TI, people who went second place in the second TI, so their mentality is completely different than these guys. But all these changes, they were kind of expected for me, so nothing to worry about.
Your hero, you're known for Rubik, playing Rubik quite well. How do you feel about that hero's place in the metagame right now, and do you feel like you're going to be able to pull some sick stuff in the group stages and in the bracket?
I don't know. It's going to be hard because Rubik itself is a very strong hero in my opinion, and he fits in your lineup a lot of times. But people have learned a lot how to play against Rubik. When I started playing a lot of Rubik and Navi, it was very easy for me to catch a lot of key spells. For example, Magnus would jump in, he would use his ulti, and then he wouldn't react for like half a second, and that's enough time for me to catch the spell and throw it back. When I was in China, playing Rubik was much harder because Chinese teams understood the way Rubik is played much better. For example, when I played against a Nyx assassin, he always put his carapace on after his spells, so I would never get his impale. We would just go in the laning phase, and when he spotted me, I was going down the river, and they have a ward here, and the Nyx was standing on the lane. The moment he saw me, he just puts his carapace on for no reason, so I can't get the impale. Stuff like this. Also, in the team fight, especially when they have a hero like Visage, Chinese teams use Visage really, really well in general. They just put the Revenants on me. I've noticed. They just want me to get out of the fight. They don't let me take any important spell, whatever. They just control me. But in Europe, I was also when we came back from Shanghai and we still played some online games. I played Rubik, and they don't really care about me, and it's their doom pretty much in the game. They just let me do what I want. But Chinese teams don't do that, so it's gonna be hard to utilize them very well in this tournament, I think. But I hope I get the chance to play a good Rubik and deliver a good show, maybe.
Yeah, last TI Rubik was huge for you guys, or for Navi when you were on it. They still ravaged so many times with it, but tied. Not a huge deal this time. But do you feel that the current hero pool and like it seems like a lot of heroes can be picked? Do you think that's a strength for you guys since you're able to use different lineups so well?
I think it is. I haven't thought about it this way. I know that we can use a lot of heroes. As I said, our players, all my teammates, they're very experienced. They have a big hero pool. It's definitely a huge advantage in general if you can play a lot of strats or heroes. So the version itself does allow a lot of heroes to be in the game, actually. It's true. So I guess it's some kind of advantage. I can't say advantage because I think a lot of teams can actually use a lot of heroes. Some teams less, some teams more, but in the end it's gonna be who can adapt the best, who can out-strategize his opponent the best. So
and this time Valve seems to be treating you guys and IG like royalty, driving you around in limos and like doing like award ceremonies. How do you feel about that? And is it just do you feel like you need to kind of earn that this time since this is the time that it's on you? You know what I mean?
Well, they picked us up with the limo, as you said, but I didn't deserve it in the first place, So I was kind of how you call it. I was not ashamed, but I wasn't feeling too good about it because I didn't deserve it. I didn't win with Navi back then, so I was just trying to be low profile about it and not. I didn't enjoy it too much since, as I said, if I don't earn it, there's nothing to enjoy. So,
do you feel that this TI puts a lot of pressure on you specifically, since Navi has done so well in the past at the previous internationals, and you're like one of the newer players here, you and Phonic, obviously. Do you feel there's more pressure on you two to kind of perform to get them to do results like they've done in the past, or do you like that pressure, or do you feel even more kind of nervous or anything like that?
I don't necessarily feel more nervous about it, but it's true that the pressure, it's quite high. I thought about it too, since Navi did do really well the last 2 years, and it's all eyes are pretty much on me and Phonic. For example, if we lose fast, it's most of the blame would probably go to us, because there are a lot of hardcore Navi fans, to put it that way. But it's at the same time, when I joined Navi, I knew what's coming into me, so I don't care. I will try my best. And I'm a kind of guy who I like to blame myself anyway, if we lose, for example. So I don't mind.
Okay. Well, do you have any shout-outs to do? Thank you for this interview, by the way. I could talk forever with you about this stuff, but I don't want to keep you. So, do your shout-outs and anyone you want to thank.
Well, shout-outs to my sponsors at Nato Svinkere. And thank you for having me. And shout-out to all my fans. Thank you for watching.
Thanks.